Let's wait for the special guest of tonight. Wow.
Hello,
Hello. Who are you?
I'm defending myself from Corona.
Oh.
I, I don't know, maybe you will cough in the camera so I can be infected. I'm just joking, of course.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Hello, guys.
Hey. So, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing especially. I
Okay.
was I was going to pick up my car from a mechanic.
Ah, you had a broken car?
No, I had some small uh, dent in it, so I went to the guy to fix it, to be like new again.
Okay, okay. So, Milan, welcome to the stream. And we had
Thank you
a,
for inviting me.
yeah, no problem. I've also sent you a, Kraken chamber, because I think you
First
better.
of all, I need to apologize to every guy here because my vocabulary is not the same like Gary's. He's Englishman. I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think people can understand you as well. Um, so let's just move on. And if people don't understand anything of what you say, they can always ask a question in the live stream chat, so we can answer that.
Yep.
Well, for if anybody uh, don't know who you are, can you tell me something about yourself and who you are and where you're from, and your age and stuff like that, and how you began with airsoft and making springs?
I feel myself. I feel the same like this is some kind of porn interview now. I'm Milan. I'm 24. No, I'm joking. I'm Milan from Serbia. This is my team flag behind me. I play airsoft from 2013.
Yeah.
Playing sniper last 3 years, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to be good in what I do. Also, one of jobs I have is airsoft tech, so I fix AGs, snipers, and things like that.
So
Everything related to airsoft.
okay. So what you're doing, right? And that's why I've sent a Kraken to you as well, so you can test it out and stuff like that. And I think something went wrong with sending you the Kraken because um, at one point you showed me a photo, you got like 3 Krakens, and I was like, what the hell? What happened? So in all the rush, I did something wrong and sent him 2 of the silver prototypes, and yeah, and a purple one, and some plastic ones in like 2018 or something, or begin 2019. I sent him the printed version to test, and yeah, well,
Now this Kraken saga, as I call it, it's going from 2019,
yeah,
middle of 2019. So uh, quite a long time for a production of one single piece of
yeah. And
airsoft.
sometimes I get a message from Mr. Milan Rapax, and he says, "What's up, what's up with the Kraken? When do you release the Kraken?" And I said, "Well, to me, it's not perfect, so I don't release it. You know, um, I want to bring something to the community that's good, and when I think it's good, then it's ready to go. And yeah, but it's real fun to get all the messages from everyone, and yeah, I just keep relaxed and do my thing, and I
Yeah,
think.
guys, if you hear this, if I was the guy to be responsible for Kraken release, it would be released some 6 months ago. But Mr. Stalker or Barry or Wesley was never satisfied with it and always wanted to be better. And I think you cannot get better than this you have now.
Okay.
So release the Kraken.
Where is it? So, for how long did you test the Kraken? For how long do you think? Like,
More than
like,
6 months.
like,
I
like
think
from.
I think I was the first who tested it, except you, because I was the first one that got it in mail,
Yeah.
the first prototype. And
Mm-hmm.
even with the first prototype, I had slight problems with the misfeeding then, but I solved it very easy.
Mm-hmm.
But and I shoot maybe 1,000 BBs just with the first prototype of Kraken, and I can say uh, also I need to say it was a printed
Okay.
backing. It was not a real one like you have now and like we have now, but it was printed backing.
Yeah. Like.
And also with that kind of backing, the results were amazing. First result that I was amazed by was I got more joules with it comparing to my standard fast hop chamber that I have and that I used before. So I was what's happening here? How can I get more joules just with swapping the hop-up chamber? And actually, after some time of thinking, we came to the conclusion why. But that can be our little secret.
Yeah. Indeed. So
Also, I had a problems with the Kraken because I couldn't see a BB because of my crosshair. It's always going straight.
oh, that's nice to hear. Thank you. So then again, what are your thoughts about the Kraken overall? Did you notice any installation speed up and in performance, accuracy, something like that?
Well, I earn my money by airsoft teching and by some other stuff like production of springs and etc. But so I said this because for me it's much easier to install fast hop up or any other part in SRS. And even I had a problem to get perfect straight shots with the fast hop. In that time, fast hop was the best chamber for SRS if you see that none of the chambers existed. So everybody had to use Kraken. But after that, it was I think Terminator, then Maple Leaf, then Max Chamber. I didn't want to buy that stuff, not because I think that those stuff are bad. Probably they are good, but I hate of using VSR backings in SRS chambers and in SRS setups. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I want to show you something. This is a this is perfect backing. This flamingo. I
Mm-hmm.
have perfect results with it in VSR and in my MK23. It's perfect VSR backing. But this is a nozzle. And if I put this backing, you see,
Yeah.
just going down. So, uh, I lost it. So, VSR backings are not made to be used in with the SRS nozzle. That's a problem.
Yep.
The Kraken backing lips are made for SRS nozzle. So Kraken chamber is the only chamber that I would use similar to VSR Frankenstein chambers because I don't have seal issues with it. I don't have to use no PTFE tape. I get perfect straight shots, very easy to install. For example, sometimes I struggle 1 2 hours to get perfect shots with the fast hops, fast hop up, and with the Kraken I get it in 10 minutes. Maybe somebody will get it in 15 minutes, but 15 minutes or 10 minutes is nothing comparing to 1 hour, 2 hours, because you need to when you have a fast hop. You think everything's aligned. You think everything's okay. You put it in your rifle, and you have, for example, right curve or left curve. That's almost impossible to get in Kraken. Probably we will find some specimens of people that will be managed that will manage to do that, but mostly everybody will get straight shots out of the box, so they don't need to make any adjustments to it or PTFE tape or something. Also, I found out that Kraken backing work also with other chambers, other barrels that are made for VSR rifles. So, but
Yeah.
I use it the Morpheus barrel because also I found out that it's also another perfection.
Okay, so with what setup did you test the Kraken?
What?
Did you use the modified spring?
I never used the other springs than mine.
It was a joke, man. But with what?
It's okay. This is the same. This is the same like you asked Norwich, do you use SRS when you play?
So what setup you used to test the Kraken?
Uh, in Serbia, we have a 3.3 joules rule. So I need to use a harder spring than most of the Europe, more than a harder spring than you in Netherlands or guys in United Kingdom and west of Europe. So my setup was 370 millimeters Morpheus barrel, Kraken chamber, Kraken backing, and RMS 3 plus spring.
Okay.
And I get with it 3.3, 3.4.
Okay. So
and no air leak.
the what?
I don't have. I have compression. I want to say that.
Oh
I don't
no.
have any air leak.
Okay. So you use PTV tape?
Of course, of course not.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I don't have anything in mind against PTFE tape, but I know that you have. So, and actually in Kraken you don't need it.
Okay.
Also, in my previous setup that I had with the fast hop up, I didn't use any of PTFE tape. I was lucky because many of guys have problems. Dimensions are not the same with every batch.
Well, it's no problem to use PTV tape, but I just think it's faster if you don't use it. So I made everything so that I don't have to use PTV tape in case of the Kraken. So what improvements did you notice by working and setting up the Kraken? Did you notice any improvements in like alignment or faster setup?
Well, first it's much easier to get everything aligned. Almost no problem in setup. Of course, I used all kinds of Krakens from version 1 to all versions you made up, and actually I find it much easier to assemble, much easier to get what you want and what you need. So many people, I think more than 50% of people, when they install fast hop or any other chamber inside SRS, they have some problems. And
Yeah, a lot of people can tag for themselves, so or they can set up a chamber. That's no problem for them. But I know a lot of people can't do them themselves. You know, they're really having trouble with just swapping a bucking or something like that. But if you give them,
Wesley, many people think they can tag, but it's not so simple.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And after after they make some mistakes with the installment, they blame on parts. So in many cases, it's not the part that is a problem, but the problem is in the guy who is installing it. The problem with Kraken is they will not have a problem. They will
Okay.
have a very easy installation process, and they will have very easy straight shots. Also, I don't know, maybe it's my subjective feeling or something, but I get straighter fly path of the BB
Okay.
with Kraken.
Well, that's nice to hear, right? But
Mm.
what was your previous setup?
Uh, my previous setup was perfect, I can say. At least I thought it was perfect. I used 70 degrees SBA backing with a fast hop and with the ZCI barrel.
Okay.
And it was shooting superb. But uh, setup with Kraken is better, I can say. And I know because I spent almost the whole bag of 048, 048 testing it. So you owe me 2,000 BBs.
Okay. I if you may wish one thing to be added to the Kraken, what should it be? So if you can add one more thing into the design or a part or whatever, what would it be?
As you know, I was the only voice that was saying from the start, release the Kraken. Even the first,
Yeah, you got it well as well.
even even the first Kraken, it's much better than anything you can find in the market now. I can say because I have shot maybe more than 1,000 BBs with this chamber, and with printed backing, not with a real one. I stopped to test it when that printed backing just rip off. So that's why I didn't use it no more. But even first version of Kraken was okay.
Yeah, it was.
Second version was something I was not so pleased with because you try to do something different.
Mhm.
But third version, it's much better than first version, much better than second version. Actually, all those versions have the same uh, technical things connecting them, but small things in version 3 make it perfect. And I don't know, actually, I don't know what else to add on that chamber to be better. Uh, we shoot with plastic BBs. We play with toys. You cannot expect straight shot on 200 meters or 300 meters with a plastic BB. So if you know what to expect, you will know that Kraken chamber is state of the art. Maybe you can make it in a Serbian flag colors. I don't know. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Maybe just a one-off.
I'm joking, of course.
No
But
problem, man.
I want to say that I don't know what to add more because actually the heart of the chamber is the backing. It's a unique backing. It's not the same like VSR backing. No matter what everybody say, I would not recommend to anyone using any other backing, any other VSR backing in Kraken chamber because Kraken backing is perfect. Why do you need anything else when you already have perfect backing coming with it?
Okay. Well, thank you for everything. And
Thank you.
yeah, maybe it's also fun to talk about your new springs that you just bring on the market.
Why? It's more fun to speak about Kraken.
Yeah, but um,
Yeah, new springs.
not work without a spring. You know, that's why.
Actually, springs were something like not thought about like upgrade part before Rapax springs hit the market. Everybody was that's just a spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after I released some springs, people started to think, "Oh my God, this can be a real upgrade for the rifle," and it can be.
Yeah, but maybe you should explain why. Because for many people, a spring is just a spring, you know. So
Yes, but you can
originally
have spring.
you had these three springs, right?
Yeah,
You released this blue one, 2 plus, 3 plus, and Hulk spring.
yeah.
So what did you change in these springs compared to other springs?
First, it's very good quality wire used to make those springs. So those springs can take much more uh, short cycles than some other ordinary springs. Second, I wanted to make a spring that's not so conventional like springs before,
Hmm.
and I wanted to get a lighter pull and to get the same joules output with lighter pull. And I was the one who made it to work.
Okay.
So
So
you can shoot 1,000 BBs in one day, don't get your arm tired.
that means the spring stays in its shape longer. You got a light
Uh,
and
first, first samples I used to test it. Uh, I used it more than 6 months before I released Rapax Springs. Uh, I shot with it now maybe more than 15,000 shots with the same spring.
ah,
Uh, and that spring is the same like at the beginning. Every spring uh, lose some joules in first 10 to 50 shots. After those shots, after that break period,
mhm,
spring should remain the same for very big period of time. Not just period of time, but shooting cycles. So I think that's what made difference from my springs to some other springs. That my springs can make more shooting cycles than some other springs. I don't say that other springs are bad, but I just improved my springs to be a bit better.
mhm.
Yeah, and thing about the new RMS springs,
Yeah.
they're made to be used. They're made to be used with different
Sorry.
setups, and
Yeah.
they're made for people uh, who are used to use more conventional springs.
Yeah.
But these springs are also coming with spacers inside that can be used to fine adjust your joules. I think no other spring come with spacers.
So these spaces inside here,
Yeah,
all the
there are
versions
two
come with.
spacers inside. One is something about 4 millimeters, and one is 6 millimeters of height.
Okay. These are the
Yeah,
spacers. So
yeah,
you get one thin and one thicker spacer. So the thicker
yeah.
spacer is adding how much joules? Or
Uh, that's a question that I cannot give an answer because every setup is different. I can just say that this spring can give something like two and plus.
mhm. But you can also place them on each other, right? Use them as a
Yes,
one thick
you place
spacer.
those spaces on a spring guide. So, for example, if you have, for example, 2 joules and you're playing in the United Kingdom, you need 2.3 joules. Just add those spaces until you get 2.3, and probably 6 millimeter spaces will be enough for from 2 to 2.3 joules.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah, but you cannot say exactly because every setup is different. My setup is different. Your setup with same parts can be different. So you can say we have 3+ spring and you have 3+ joules, but is it exactly 3.3 or 3.4? It depends of setup. And if you need more, you can always add.
Yeah.
Because you have spaces included in the package.
So the spring is somewhat shorter, and then you can add the FPS with the rings, right? So for in case of for the Dutch guys.
You can add rings with the light pull series also. This is a standard spring I made before and now, and this is a RMS spring. RMS is much shorter because the idea is to use more of a heavier pistons with this spring, and also you can add spaces to standard light pull blue, red, green springs. Also, these springs you can use in any VSR setup that takes APS to standard springs. So this is a 13 millimeters spring. This is also 13 millimeters spring. So they will work in VSR, SRS, SSG 24, SSG 10. So you can use them there. You cannot use them in a stock VSR rifles because they are made for 11 millimeters spring, and this spring is 13 millimeters. So that's it about springs. I don't know what to say. Maybe you can ask.
Oh yeah, well that was the main question for me, what the difference was in those RMS. What's RMS exactly?
It's a Rapax modular spring. Many people ask me why this spring is modular, spring like a spring, but you have spacers included inside, so it contains of 3 parts inside spring, one spacer, second spacer. So with this spring, you can fine tune your joule output.
Yeah. So sometimes
and for example, you need 3.5 joules. You have 3+ RMS, and you get 3.2. You just add the spacer that you get with spring, and you get 3.5. Also, it's not very hard to pull. So
indeed. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's relatively new product, so people need some time to be used on it. But many people use my light pull springs, so they're some kind of familiar with my springs.
I use the 2+, the blue spring, the light pull one, and sometimes I have a problem because I'm standing in front of a chrono, and I need to chrono my rifle on .30 BB,
Yeah.
and then I'm just over the shoe limit. So it might come in handy for me to use this 2+ spring.
Yeah.
So
actually, this
I'm
is
below the limit, and I can just boost it with the rings.
this is a 2+ light pull.
Yeah.
This is a 2+ RMS. 2+ light pull. It's a bit higher output of joules than RMS. Why? Because many setups in our airsoft world are not so perfect. So I needed to make this spring not to be 2.3, but actually to be 2.5 joules. This one. So the guys with less efficient setups have 2.3 joules in UK and in Netherlands, and in other places that are using 2.3. So maybe, I don't know how much, but 80% of people, not 80, but 60% of people have 2.3 joules with this spring. The rest of the people need to cut some coils. Actually, it's not hard to do, and actually this spring is designed so you can cut some coils if you need. So it's easy for you to achieve 2.3 joules just using some cut pliers or Dremel tool. I made one video before how to cut a spring. It's very easy.
Yeah.
So, and actually, this springs. Many people ask me, how long can I use this spring? Should I take it out from my rifle, etc. And you don't need to take it out from your rifle. It will be the same after 1 year. You can shoot more than 10,000 BBs, maybe 15,000 BBs with this spring without changing joule output. So after 10 or 15,000 BBs, maybe you should consider of changing it. But I don't think that many people shoot that much BBs in 1 or 2 years period.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the spring is something like indestructible. Something.
Bad for me
Yeah,
because people buy just one and they never buy again.
yeah,
Or they buy if they buy another rifle, or they have two SRS or two SGs, but
yeah.
they have to buy one and they never buy for the same rifle.
They
I
buy one.
change springs.
They,
I,
they
I I
buy,
change springs now and then because I need to test and because I test different barrels and different setups. But as I told you before, the first ever spring made, it was a sample of, it was 3 plus.
uh-huh.
That spring survived every kind of abusing you can imagine to a spring. It was left cocked for more than 1 week just to test how much it will lose over time when cocked and shoot, I don't know, I say 10,000 BBs, but maybe it was more.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, it was more because I always make some tests with hop-up chambers and things like that.
Uh-huh. I understand. So
Of course, of course, it can always happen for some guy to get a lemon spring,
yeah,
but
of course. But then
I
they should.
sold many springs, thousands of springs, and maybe it was 5 lemons.
Yeah, but it can happen. It's no
Of
problem.
course, like every part.
You have a good
But
customer service.
many people, first thing when they have low joules with my springs, first what they think the wrong is, they think the spring is wrong, and actually every time they have a problem with some other part in their SRS, and almost never the spring.
Yeah, indeed. Um, yeah. What else to say? Maybe some people have.
I want to say, many people ask me,
Oh, yeah,
this spring is light pull series. They're 27 centimeters long.
yeah.
So remember, 27 centimeters when they're new. That can vary 3 millimeters up and down, but it's 27 centimeters when they're new. If you put it to the rifle and you shoot 20, 30 BBs, it will get shorter for 1 centimeter. So it will be 26 or 24, 25.5, depend of initial length of the spring.
Yeah.
And it will stay like
Wait.
that. It
Um,
will stay like that for a long period. So it will not. If you are thinking that something is wrong with the spring, just take it out from the rifle, measure it. If it have 25.5 or 26, that spring is okay, and you're
okay.
good to go.
So my question is, um, when you put in a new spring, does it give more joules than a spring that has been shot for like 50 times?
No,
It only.
maybe you will get some slight increasement of joules, but just for first 10 shots.
Okay. Just for first.
Maybe less, 5 shots.
Okay. Okay. Good to know.
Many people think that you need some grading period for the spring. Many people think you need to shoot 2,500. I don't know how much BBs to get spring settle in. But actually, no. My springs are settled after 20 shots.
Okay. So I got one question before we close the live stream. I've got one question from Franz, and he asks, what bucking did you use, or the degree of the bucking on the 3.3 Joule setup? But I'm sure that it's the latest version of Kraken bucking, 60 degrees.
Uh, can you repeat what version of Kraken backing or what version of SBA backing? Because I see 3.3 joule setup, 60 degrees. Before I used in my fast hop, I used 70 degrees SBA with 3.3. Actually, you can use the 60 degrees in even 70 degrees you can use in 2.3 joules. I
Okay.
speak about SBA backings, not about Kraken backings, because Kraken backings work a little bit different.
Yeah. So, well, that was a really good information live stream about your springs.
And sorry, one question.
Yeah.
What are those cylinders down? Did you speak about it? I didn't catch it up, or that's
The what?
something new?
The cylinders?
Cylinders.
Oh, the cylinders, yeah. Um, well, I
Some
was
some new stuff or what? Did you speak
uh,
about it on the live? I didn't. I was not. I
well,
was not here for the start.
this was my first prototype lightweight cylinder. It's the 2-point
Yep.
light. You can find information on www.stalkerairsoft.com. You can find them there and read about them. This was my first prototype. It's real best and something like heat treated. So it was a sample, was my first sample. Then I moved on to a better heat treatment and a better surface, as well as inside and outside. And yeah, this is heavily used, heavily tested. So and this is the final version, and that's also a bit.
Is
Um,
that some kind of coating over it?
this is sometimes, yeah, this is a special coating, so that it works better with pistons transferring. So the inner coating is a better coating, and it should work better with pistons, and it works better with pistons. But because me personally, if I swap this just a cylinder to this cylinder, I get a fuel boost. So it's the same for this one. This is the fluted version. I also get the boost with this one. So basically, this was my prototype fluted. I run it for um, a real long time, as you can see. This one has no coating outside, it's just heat treatment, a bit of blue shiny. And I've noticed that there's a lot of differences in cylinders that are currently on the market. So I've measured everything like pistons and piston cups and all the cylinders, and I came to the conclusion that um, yeah, that's really important that you have a good internal diameter and matching piston cup. So, for example, this is a molded cup from Silverback, and most of the time this is always the same. It can happen that this has an inaccuracy, but it's hard to say, because this is molded in a CNC mold, so it's almost always the same. This measurement of the diameter, so you can measure this on all these pistons, and they should be the same. So that's real good. But then all the cylinders are also different. So with every cylinder you put into your setup with this piston, you get another joule output. So when I just swap from this cylinder to a stock cylinder, then I get another output because this is a different cylinder. So I prototyped as long as I have this and this. I've all changed the diameter of the cylinders and
So it's different
matching.
inner diameter
Yeah, I changed the inner diameter matching the
to
most.
fit better to silverback parts.
Yeah, also for the stock setup because I've heard that a lot of people have trouble even with the stock cylinder. They have a bit of a problem.
Especially in A2 series.
Yeah, only in the A2 series, but it's not
Yeah.
a real problem because um, I've 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 received an A2 myself as well, and I really didn't have any problem until I put in a really high and strong spring. And but with the spring of Silverback, which is in the box, I had no problem because it was a low fuel output spring. But when I changed it to a higher fuel output spring, the cylinder began to scrape a bit or get a bit of rough, you know, on this side. So
Yeah.
what I did, I used WD-40 and the PTV dry spray. That's a dry spray, and I sprayed it real good and in the receiver as well, and then my problem went away. But sometimes when you, I will show you. I've got a caliper. It's upside down, but I try to show you. When you measure the cylinder, it's 2640, yeah, and that one should fit in A2, and this is 2635. So that's a real, just a tad smaller, and it should solve all the problems in the A2 when people have a problem. Because personally, I don't have a problem with A2, and I think it's a really good rifle, and I think people just should maintenance the rifle before use, and that's really important. But um, I didn't really know about this, but I already prototyped my cylinder a bit smaller by accident. So it came just in handy. So that's a tiny bit smaller and works perfectly in the A2. So they will be released real soon. And yeah, these are the final ones. I'll show you one more time. The fluted in this one is a bit high, you see, but it will be, let me see, it will be something like this. So that's the fluted one, and this is the 2-point lightweight. So the only thing that touches your receiver are these 2 points. So this whole point is not touching your receiver. So for
So
example,
you have less friction.
yeah, you should have less friction indeed. So maybe I can show you the weight on the scale again. I did it yesterday as well for the people. So this is a stock cylinder, and this is a stock cylinder. They should be the same. So now change it to the lightweight, and you lose some weight. So you really notice it with pulling everything to the back. You notice it's a lightweight cylinder, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
So and the fluted one, 80.5. So there's a real difference.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You have shown a lot of parts tonight.
yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of
and
new
I'm
parts.
yeah, of course. So yeah, let's hope everything release release real soon. And yeah, I think that's it for today, right? Do you have any question, Milan?
No, just to say about this Kraken backing, Franz asked. Kraken backing was 60 degrees.
Yeah, yeah. The Kraken bucking right now. I have them in 50, 60, and 70, but I still need to check if it's needed to make 55 and 65 as well as 75. But I will look into it if it's really needed because
But we should also mention that every producer have different scale of shores for backing. So, for example, 70 of SBA is not same like 70 of Maple Leaf, and
yeah,
also depends on material used to produce that backing. So you cannot say I need 60, I need 50, I need 70. You need to try. You need to try what is the best. Uh, Up to some while, I think people will know, but it's not the same like every other backing. Actually, you can shoot 2.3 with 70 degrees backing, no problem. But with 60 degrees, you can get more of fine adjustments. 70 will last you 3 years or more, but 60 is maybe better for lower joules.
yeah,
But for higher joules, 70 definitely.
and of course 60 is a bit more forgiving than the harder shore.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It also depends on what material you use and stuff like that, but let's not go that deep into the
Yeah.
technical aspect of the bucking.
Now you didn't say maybe people will find it interesting. You didn't say how many materials we checked buckings for.
Oh yeah. We checked.
We checked every possible material in this world to make.
Yeah, we checked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 materials right now
Yeah.
in 50, 60, and 70 degrees, all of them. So, and I've noticed that that 70 degree, I was hopping 0.48 kicking Mustang BBs um, in my garden, so that was no problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
That was a lot of information, and I will save all the videos on YouTube, Facebook, and maybe Instagram, and also on the stalkerairsoft.com website. And I will thank everyone for watching these videos, and thank you that you joined the live stream, Milan, and I hope you sell a lot of springs, man. I wish you the best.
Same to you, man.
Oh,
Thank
where
you
can
for
we buy
making
those
such a
springs?
such a
At
good
you?
product.
We can buy those springs at you.
I sell springs in rapaxsprings.com, and you sell my springs also in Scrum Shop NL and in Scrum Shop UK. So you can buy my springs at those three places.
Okay. Hey,
But
yeah.
first, I want to say thank you for making such a good products like this Kraken and these cylinders. And
Yeah,
I
well,
think some new products will be soon also.
yeah, for me it's just fun if yeah, if something is working, you know. And for me it's important to make the community happy. And it's not so important to get some profit or something. So if I could release this version and then everybody was buying this version, but I was not satisfied. So for me, it doesn't matter. I just wait until the product is good. And so we wait till the release of the Kraken.
And
And
that will be, I
till
think
the
that will
pro-
be very,
till the new
very, very
product
soon
very, very soon.
because everything is already designed, everything is checked for 2,375 times. So, so I think everything will be okay.
Yeah, indeed. So thank you for your time, man. And I wish everybody a good night or good
Thank
day
you for
wherever
your
you
time.
are. And see you
Goodbye.
soon. Goodbye. Bye bye bye.
Bye.